hand in hand with the next couple of tragedies that we heard about recently, the one in Uvalde, Texas, and Tulsa. Firstly, with Uvalde, Texas, this 18-year-old boy shoots up a elementary school, killing 18 people, which is completely tragic, man. It's just seeming like these shootings, mass shootings, are happening more and more in places that we would think were sacred. You know what I mean? Churches, grocery stores, movie theaters, kids' schools, hospitals. It's just nuts. He took another AR-15 situation, assault rifles. It's just kind of crazy how much access people have to these weapons to be able to do these things, especially if you're going to stores and buying them. There should be ways to kind of track who has these weapons and who has access to them. So if stuff like this does happen, we can kind of pinpoint that and, like, I don't know, background checks, and this should be way harder. And my stance on it, my bias on it for sure, is to get these assault weapons, any weapon at all, you kind of need to do a mental check, a background check, all kinds of stuff to make it a little bit harder for these people to be able to do these kind of things, especially going into kids' schools, like, what was it, like 11-year-olds to like 14-year-olds, like little kids. He, not to make it any, like, he didn't even go to a high school. He went to a little kid school to where he knew that everybody would be so defenseless to where he can just get away with what he did. And then, of course, he was killed at the scene. But it's just nuts, man. These people do these things and have like backstory, like stuff that they put online that kind of you could have tracked and nipped in the bud a long time ago if they really did pay attention. But yet we're out here knowing everything about these RICO cases these rappers are doing and everything these rappers are doing. You know what they say in their songs. You know when they turn left. You know when they turn right. You know when they wipe their ass. But these motherfucking serial killers, these murderers, mass shooters can go online and type what they're gonna do up in a community group, and nobody has anything, has no clue that this is gonna happen, or pictures with the guns, and you don't think this shit's gonna happen. Like, come on, man. It's wild, and it just has a weird undertone to it that I don't like. It leaves a sour taste, and for the fact that people in the government still feel like they shouldn't change the gun laws because you know mass shootings are going to happen regardless. Like, I saw a poll that like 72% of, I think it was Congress or something, felt like there should be something done about the access, something done about the access to these weapons. And then 22% of them, or like, yeah, 22% of them said that mass shootings are going to happen anyway. So we gotta like just kind of learn to deal with it, or some stupid shit like that. It's just wild how people think. You can see little kids get killed. You can see old people get killed at grocery stores. In the case of Tulsa here, 4 people killed in a hospital. You know what I mean? Like, it's just places that that are supposed to be, again, sacred, and where you're not supposed to be out doing that. Nobody's supposed to shoot anybody at all, but places where people are healing, places of worship, where little kids are, and it, like, where people are with their families, and shit like that shouldn't be going down. I know there's a lot of stories out there that are being intertwined, which are kind of like regular street violence kind of thing, and there are a lot of people getting hit, and those should be considered as mass shootings, but I don't think they're the same as these racially motivated killings that are out there happening. And I feel like they're trying to lump those together when they talk about mass shootings right now in media, kind of trying to take onus off of what's going on. Just like, look, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in the hood. People are shooting at each other and people are getting hit. I don't think that's the same as somebody having an AR-15 and going to a kid's school, is mowing down a bunch of kids and teachers. That's I don't know. There's something more specific. There's bigger fish to fry. I know that might be a bad term, but it's like, come on now. It's getting wild. It's like each week we hear about something new that is going on that is just tragic. And it's nuts, man. It needs to slow down. It needs to stop completely, but we need to make steps, at least in the right direction, to slow it down before we can just turn the faucet off completely. Whew. I just think that kind of somber stuff in there. RIP to all the families, you know what I'm saying, to all these situations. I just pray for the world gets in a better place sometime really soon.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.